Welcome to the Mad Panda podcast, where hip hop doesn't have an expiration date. I am Nate, along with my co-host Silas, and today we're diving deep into everything hip hop. So let's get it.
And as usual, thanks for checking us out. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share so that we can keep building. So today we decided to focus on one artist. We're gonna do that once in a while where we'll pick an artist and kind of do a deep dive. We decided to go with somebody who I think is probably the most prolific in terms of just constantly putting stuff out since 88, 87, 88.
Yeah.
And that's Masta Ace.
Ace.
Good. I mean, I think he's one of the best MCs around. I don't know if you would I don't think he ever really gets put on top of lyricist things, but I think you could argue that he's one of the best because he's good, but and it's just always been solid. I don't think there's much weakness from him. And I think he's pushing 60, and he put out an album this year and one last year, and he's still performing. And I recently found out he was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis.
Oh, really?
In early 2000s.
Oh.
And has been able to keep
pushing through,
doing his thing. So I got to give him credit for that. So, quick history. His first recording was the Symphony off the Marley Mar's In Control Volume 1. Which, I mean, if you like hip hop, I think that should be a mandatory track.
That you will listen to.
I think before you listen to hip hop, you have to listen to. It's like a prerequisite.
Okay.
So any new listeners, you got to go listen to the Symphony because it features Marley Mar. I mean, it's produced by Marley Mar, who is one of the most important figures in hip hop, which we can talk about another time. But it's got Master Ace, Craig G, Cool G Rap, and Big Daddy Kane. So it has, I mean, pretty much anybody that does a top MC list always has Big Daddy Kane and Cool G Rap on there.
On there.
People that, opinions I respect. Those have to be in your top 10. They're some of the best. And I think we talked about this one time in one of our podcasts about growing up, when I was in high school or junior high, actually, I think. Yeah, it would have been junior high. We used to argue about who had the best verse, and that's always been
on that track
on the Symphony. It's
okay,
but it was always between Cool G Rap and Big Daddy Kane. And I think, like I mentioned before, I'm just I like it from beginning to end. But Master Ace, he sets it off, and it's a really good track. So, I'm not sure. That was where I first heard him, and then he came out with his Take a Look Around album, which is a really solid album. I think my light's making it a little blurry, but hopefully you can see that. Really good. And I think this has the song that I think you first heard Master Ace on and all that.
Me and the Biz?
Yeah.
Okay, yep. Okay, so yeah, for me, when I first heard Master Ace, it was Me and the Biz. And that kind of set the tone for me, or who I thought he was. Because I really didn't listen to a lot of Master Ace. So I just never heard of from Me and the Biz and Born to Roll. And those two tracks alone are wildly different.
Yeah.
And because Me and the Biz has more fun type of...
It's a orky kind of hip hop.
Yeah. And especially when he's rapping as Biz Markie.
Yeah.
And you just and he does a great impression, by the way.
I know, it's great. A lot of people I know thought it was really Biz.
Yeah.
At first, and then you see the video and he's got the Biz puppet
and stuff. Yeah.
And I misunderstood the story. I thought he was they were cousins or something, and then Biz just he kept missing out on studio time. And so Master Ace just was screw it, I'm just going to record your verse for you. But then, and I think we've talked about this, was the Master or the Biz Markie documentary that came out on Netflix, I believe, earlier this year. Excellent. I would go check that out. But they actually talked more about it, and it had more to, they weren't cousins, I guess. And they just, something to do with, I think Marley Marr kind of kept it apart. He was no, we don't need to do this. And so it just never worked. But then he decided to record it and do the Biz Markie verse as a kind of a placeholder.
Oh, so okay, gotcha.
And then the label just put it out, I think, if I remember right. I have to go back and watch that, but I'm pretty sure that's what the story was.
Wow.
So, but at the end of that documentary, he actually sits there with the puppet and kind of raps an apology. to him. Says, I think it ended up kind of causing some falling out a little bit between
them.
Yeah, but Yeah, that's a good song. That was that one, and then I think Take a Look Around, the title track off that album, which uses the Gil Scott-Heron's Revolution Will Not Be Televised.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the one, but that's a really good song too. It's more kind of a talking piece where he's just kind of like take a look around at everything that's going wrong in the world. So it kind of showed you he was more than just your regular MC. He was going to rap about more important stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then the one you talked about was Born to Roll,
which
so go ahead.
That was the Born to Roll joint was, like I said, it was wildly different from me and the Biz. And when we decided to talk about Masta Ace, you know, when I brought it up, I was like, you know, we should find an artist who we should solo in on for an episode. And you brought up Masta Ace. And I went to go do my little research on him. My intended purpose was to listen to like some albums and then do some actual research on him to see like where he come from and all this type of stuff. But what happened was the first album I listened to was Richmond Hills.
Okay, that's the one from this year.
Yeah, and I think it's because it was the newest one, so I just hit play. And my God, oh Jesus, that album was really incredible. The beats on there was like there was not lacking. Masta Ace was coming with it, and then the whole concept, you know, him having a concept around the album was incredible too. And honestly, he was keeping up with these, you know, the kids nowadays, man. Like I was like, yo, he is like, this album could definitely be considered album of the. I don't want to say album of the. It definitely could in that conversation of album of the year.
It's definitely in my top 10 of the year. It's a beautiful album from front to back.
And I'm like, yo, like. And I think he had Coast Contra on there as well.
Yeah, then I like that song a lot.
Yeah.
That was a good, what was cool about that is because you've got this old cat, you know, he's pushing 60.
Yeah.
And he's got these from New York. He's bringing these young cats from California on the track, and he shines right along with them.
And they don't overshadow him at all.
Well, they complement each other really well, but you couldn't sit there and say that he sounded like an old man on that track. He was right.
Yeah, he was definitely doing his thing.
Yeah.
And so when I did that, when I listened to Richmond Hill, I was excited. I was like, you know, this wasn't, when I was coming into it, I was thinking about like, because I was like, okay, this gonna be one of his newer joints.
Yeah, he's an old man.
Yeah, he's an old man. I was like, you know, this I'm not gonna be. It's gonna be like, okay, this is cool. I'm gonna have to go back to his older stuff and see. But no, this stood up to his older stuff as well, and it's kind of crazy that he hasn't lost a step.
No.
Like lyrically, flow wise, it's just all there. I guess this to have the creativity of making an album, like especially in this day and age, like where people don't really make albums no more.
Yeah, people make tracks.
He can do it very, very, very well, and he shows. I feel like he's kind of like a master. He should hold a master class on rapping.
Yeah, and I think that's where you could actually argue putting him in a top 10 MC list because he's been putting stuff out for what 30-something years.
Yeah, it has to be, right?
35, 37, like that. And I don't think he has a terrible album in his catalog.
Yeah.
He's got hit or misses.
Man, look.
But it's solid. I mean,
yeah.
And there's very few that can do that. And for all of you Eminem stands out there, Eminem has said that he was as big as influence as an MC.
Okay, so I got to get into that part too. So when I went back and after Richmond Hill, I was like, I was supposed to do some research, but I was like, nah, I want to listen to another one. I was like, I want to listen to another one. Like, what am I doing? Like, this one is slapping. So I looked up and see what was his greatest albums because I wanted to hear like the best from him at first, and then which I listened to Slaughterhouse. Or was it Slaughterhouse?
Yeah,
Slaughterhouse. And with that one, it threw me off.
It's a concept album.
I
don't know if you know the story behind it.
No, I do not know the story behind it.
You want to finish or you want me to?
Well, yeah, I'm gonna finish. Okay, so it threw me off because I'm expecting it to be his older stuff, right? So I'm expecting Me and the Biz.
Yeah.
That's where I'm like, oh, it's gonna be like Me and the Biz, it's gonna be a little playful. It was not playful. It was serious. It was so serious, and it was a good album. It was a good album, but it just wasn't what I was expecting coming, you know.
Yeah.
Coming into.
You gotta realize it's satire.
Oh, so
it's actually released under Masta Ace Incorporated, and it was him and I forget the other. I was hoping it would say it right here on the back of this, but yeah. So it was him and like 2 other MCs or 3 MCs, and it was a critique satire of
gangster rap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where you had the song like Slaughterhouse, and they're like walking like they're hard, like they're,
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I can't even remember the lyrics. And then there's a song G-Pass, which
is a Born to Roll.
The Roll,
Yeah.
like that's a remix of.
Yeah, because I was rapping to it. I was like, I ain't heard this beat before, but I know these lyrics though.
But yeah, so that's what it was. It was a concept album that was totally like, because this was about the point when gangster rap pretty much
at its peak.
Yeah, this was 93.
Okay.
Yeah, 93. Yeah, that sounds about right. So, that's when you have like Nas has come out. You've got West Coast. You've got Dre and Snoop. Ice Cube. I think it's before Snoop Dogg and the Chronic, I think, but it's still, you can see gangster rap is taking over.
Yeah.
And so this album was a total like
satire of it.
Satire.
Yeah. Because it felt so serious from what I was expecting from me in the biz. That's why I think that, I knew it was like, he was kind of making fun of it, but I was like, this still has like a very dark tone. I was expecting like I was expecting all that. But yeah.
It wasn't as playful.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't. They were playing around.
Yeah, and that's where he followed up with the Sitting on Chrome, which
that was
delved
great.
into it deeper, like more of that whole concept.
Yeah, which with that one, right? Because I listened to that one next after Slaughterhouse.
Mm-hmm.
That one had, to me, it had a more West Coast vibe to it.
Yeah, and they were, I think, kind of going for that route.
Oh, they would
have been. This was 95, so this was right after G-Funk, I think, was really starting to.
Okay. I mean, it worked for him too.
It's good.
It worked very well.
He's a versatile MC because he starts, kind of in the New York, almost in a native tongues vibe.
Yeah.
With the more kind of fun, playful, and then he dips into this gangster style, kind of New York style gangster. Then he breaks out to West Coast style.
Yeah, it's like,
then he goes back to more traditional New York stuff on his.
And with that one, I swear the skits on there had me dying laughing. Oh my goodness. The Sitting on Chrome album, those skits on there were just hilarious. He just talking about I mean, I like the whole story about him, it was like him and his friend trying to get the girls or whatever like that. And then, but I remember that one part where he was like, yeah, you got a girl from my man's or something like that. And she was like, oh, what he look like? And then his man's in the background, he's like, what you look like? Yeah, that one was hilarious. And then also, I think it was like towards the end of the album where he was, I don't know, I don't know if it was Ace or it was somebody else, but they was talking on the phone. And I guess his baby mom's called, and he's like, yeah, hold on, this is my baby mom's, whatever like that. And he's like, yeah, I need the car back. No, I don't need the car. It was something like that. And then he switched on the other line. He was like, yeah, that was my baby mom. Y'all can't stand her. This. And she's like, it's still me. She's still me. I was like, oh my goodness, man. That's the Ace, man. He should really get a man an award.
I think what's cool about the 2 albums too is that they don't sound forced or fake. Even though they're satire, you don't even have to realize that it's satire to enjoy the album.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when you realize what it is, it's like, wow. Then, like you said, like he jumps into the West Coast style, and it's like, it does not sound fake or forced.
No, it's like it flows very well with them.
Where there's been other MCs who have tried to switch up styles, kind of matching whatever is popular, and it
don't really hit.
It sounds definitely forced.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that was one of the things he very much can basically go into whatever moment he's in. So
and also his storytelling is amazing.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, like my favorite storyteller is like Scarface, and he definitely is like outclassing Scarface in it. I'm like, yo,
yeah, I would maybe put him as probably the most like, what's the word, like where you're not giving credit to him. There's a word for it.
Underrated?
Yeah, sorry, drawing blank here. Yeah, he's probably one of the most underrated MCs because he's influenced the greats out there.
Yeah,
and he's been involved with it since the early days of hip hop, working with some of the best. I mean, to come up with Cool G Rap and
Big Daddy
Kane, and Craig G's another one that's pretty underrated from that period. And then and to still be doing it and still putting it out. Yeah. I mean, he's put out, and I haven't listened to a lot of these in a while, but he's got like Long Hot Summer.
Yeah, I haven't checked that one yet.
That's a good one. He had this one, it was Ace and Ito, Parts and Entertainment.
Okay.
I want to say, if I remember right, it was recorded and then shelved for a while, and then didn't get put out until like, well, it says it was originally released in 2009.
Okay.
I want to say that was shelved or something, but this one's got like Large Professor, it's got Possum, De La Soul on it, KRS-One.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Again, it's been a while since I've listened to it, but it's a good one. This was one he did with MF Doom, which I can't remember if it was him just rapping over the beats or if Doom actually like got in the studio and produced it with him. But it's
Okay.
Yeah, Son of Yvonne. That's a good one.
I didn't even heard about this one.
This is one. It's actually came out last year, a year before. NPR, which is National. What's that?
The Tiny Desk? Is that?
Yeah, it's a Tiny Desk.
Okay.
So yeah, NPR does their Tiny Desk concerts where they bring in rappers, rock band, country, everything.
Yeah.
And they just record at a desk inside their studio. And so he did one with a live band in there. Has just a couple songs: "Son of Yvonne," "Born to Roll," and "Story of Me." Some intros and outros.
Man,
excellent piece of work.
That is.
And this is his resurgence. So he did with Marco Polo. He first did the Brooklyn Story, and then he came out with the Richmond Story. Here. So excellent. And again, Marco Polo is very. He should be up there with some of the greats and producers. These two albums, I think, are.
Yeah, because he did a good job on that Richmond hit.
Yeah, they're all just solid albums all the way through. So, yeah, I mean,
yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
So what was the last album I just left off of?
You were
Sitting on Chrome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, with that album, I'm like, yo, I should be looking into them, right? But I'm like, I gotta listen to another one. Yeah, I gotta listen to another one.
What was the next one you put on?
So the next one was what was it called? Disposable Arts.
Yeah,
this was Disposable Arts.
I have that one. It must not be in my.
Yeah,
must be out of order.
Yeah. Yes, that's right. It's Disposable Arts.
Yeah,
right? Okay,
that's a good album.
Yeah, that one right there, where he was going to, I guess, school for rapping or something like that. Yeah. And he had the whole concept of him going to college, and he's got a roommate or whatever like that, and he has like certain classes on rap, and it was a crazy concept. But in that though, I want to shine a light on one of those songs on there. I think it's called Alphabet Soup or Alphabet Soup.
Sounds right.
Yeah. And I didn't catch on to like midway, but he was rapping each alphabet like through the song. I was like, he was going from A. He was like, I can't do it like he did it or nothing like that. So I'm not even gonna try to explain it. But
all right, but like each verse, like or each line
was like A B C, all the way through Z.
Yeah,
and I was like, gee, that is incredible, man. Like, yo, did he just rap the alphabets? Like, but it was like in a way where it was like more. It was telling a story. That's what it was.
It wasn't like gimmicky.
It wasn't. It was like gimmicky. He was like, hey, do you know B from such and C? And we gonna see where he be at. And nah, I ain't heard from D. I heard he be on E or something. Like it was crazy. It was a crazy, wild story. Like, yeah, you gotta check that one out. And then and also on Disposable Arts, there was a diss song on it. I don't know who he was dissing. I do not know who he was dissing, but there was a diss song on there, and it was a solid diss song. I mean, he was saying something like, like I think they were trying to like be like a fake 50 Cent or something like that. So I don't know who he was. He could be talking about Ja Rule. He could be talking about anybody.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I know. I remember the song, but yeah, I don't know who he was.
Yeah, I'm not sure who he was mentioning on there. But I mean, it was a cool track. And then trying to think about. Oh yeah, also on that album, the Disposable Arts album. That's why I wanted to bring up the Eminem situation, because I was looking in the comments on some of the videos in there, and it was these people just going back and forth, like angry, texting each other, like angry, like in the comments, and they were saying that it's like, y'all know Eminem stole his whole flow from Masta Ace and stuff like that. And then there was some stands in there. I was like, Eminem would never do this, something like this. And it was just funny to see that whole back and forth. And I got to check it out. It's funny.
So I was looking it up. So it says, where was it at? There's a song included on the album is the song. This is per Wikipedia.
Okay.
The song Acknowledgement, a notable diss track to rapper Boogeyman and the group The High and Mighty.
I have no idea who that is.
I'm not familiar with Boogeyman off the top of my head, but High and Mighty were pretty sure they're two white dudes, DJ and producer.
Mm-hmm.
remember liking their album, but I remember thinking that he sounded a lot like Busta Rhymes.
Oh, really?
And I can't think of the name of them.
Yeah, because on that diss track, he was saying something like, I mean, obviously, if I don't really know him, then I ain't gonna say that, but he's pretty much saying like, you gotta sell a record, and then maybe you be considered, I consider battling you or something like that. Like, he's like, you're not even on my level type stuff. Like,
that's fun. Yeah, I do remember that track though, but I'd forgotten who it was about. But yeah,
and by the end of it though, it was pretty. Was that the last one I listened to? Disposable Arts. Because I remember there's a situation where it might be the same album. Because like the way he has his skits on there.
Yeah,
he was how he just wrapped it up with throughout the album there was Master Ace, I guess, had a girlfriend or if his baby moms, I'm not too sure, but he was playing the part, or you seen through his perspective of him through the eyes of his. No, okay, I'm messing this up. He was telling a story on how his baby moms has three other people or two other people, right? So it's him, the dude she was with before him, and the dude she was with after him, plus him. So, and how that all kind of happens. And he was saying the dude that she was with before him was a dude who was trying to like get his car back from her or something like that, and he ended up trying to like set up a robbery or something like that, like but she ended up shooting those two dudes who came to rob him, and so it was on the news or whatever like that, and then it ties into Master Ace, and I don't know. It was man. I just gotta applaud that guy. I just gotta applaud.
Excellent storytelling.
Yeah,
and then like you're saying, the concepts, like he pulls them, kind of like we were talking about Luke in the last one, where once he sets a concept, the album does follow it.
Yeah, follows it real,
and he stays on track. So he's good at doing that. Yeah, and just like I've said, all around, just a solid MC.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you can't. That is a MC's MC.
Definitely. Like I said, I don't think I've heard a song of him that I hate. There's ones that are like, yeah, that's okay, whatever, but nothing that I've ever said that's terrible. It's always been at least good, if not great, but a lot of it is great. And, hopefully we get something more. He seems to be doing really well with Marco Polo. They seem to work really well together.
Yeah.
They flow and they've blended really well and collaborate very well. So
yeah, also I want to say with that too, like you said, you haven't really heard a song that you actually hate. Yeah, I mean, I can agree with you. From what I've been listening to, I haven't hit a skip part. Like I haven't hit the skip button on any other songs that are on the album. And so, because they all kind of flow and they all kind of complement each other. So
he definitely makes albums. He's not making just singles. He's making albums.
Yeah.
But they're also good enough that you can
listen to them as singles.
Yeah, you could just pick one and listen to it. Like if you're, but they're always better. And even the skits, like you said, they don't ever really feel forced or like you don't even necessarily want to skip over the skits.
Yeah, you want.
Some people you're like, yeah, I'll skip that skit. But this one, because if you're listening to it from front to back, it all flows together so well on all of his albums. So yeah.
Yeah, and the Disposable Arts, it had I think 24 tracks on it.
Yeah,
it was a long one, but you didn't feel it. You did not feel it. You did not feel it at all. And by the time you get to the end of it, you just hear with that, just like, wow, this guy really did this. I see why he is. When people say they consider him one of the greatest of all.
Yeah,
and I can't even be mad at that. Like it's
a shame he doesn't show up more. Like he should be. He should be on. He should be in everybody's top 10 list, I think.
Yeah. So I got a question. Why isn't he bigger than he? Because he has all the qualifications.
Yeah, and I don't know what it is exactly. I mean, I think people like me who grew up, we've heard him since.
Yeah.
The symphony. I don't think any of us would take it away from him. But it seems like you kind of forget about him. Like even in our last. We were talking about our top 5.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I didn't even think of it, but then the minute I think of him, I'm like,
yeah,
I love Master Ace. So I don't know what it is exactly. It's just weird. I guess maybe because he doesn't have a lot of like pop songs. Not pop songs, but
or probably just
like stuff to
market him on.
Yeah, maybe
because he just goes straight off of just lyrics and he's a rapper's rapper.
Yeah, and you don't really see any of his stuff on, with the exception of like Sitting on Chrome or Born to Roll.
Born to Roll.
And then Me and the Biz. Those are the only 2 songs you ever really hear by him.
But he has so much great.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm glad to see though when I've read some of the the best of 24 list, the Richmond story
was on there.
Is coming up on a lot of them. So I'm glad to see that. So, yeah, so at least he's getting his due, his recognition still. Yeah. But yeah, it would be nice to see
him get blown up more.
Yeah, give him a Grammy or something just for. It's like we had our episode a few weeks ago where we talked about the group with the best career, and I think when you talk about an individual MC, Masta Ace has to be
the best,
the one, because I can't think of anybody from '88 that is still putting out
quality stuff
solid albums. I mean, you could argue with KRS-One maybe, but his albums are hit or miss. There's a lot of stuff I don't care that much for from KRS-One, even though I still think he's one of the best MCs of all time. But there's a lot of stuff that's hit or miss where
Masta Ace is just...
it's solid all the way through. It's a solid catalog. So, yeah, I can't think of anybody else. I mean, you got Cool G Rap still puts stuff out every now and then, but again, nothing's really like, caught me, like made me say, wow, it's just been like, okay, another Cool G Rap.
Yeah.
Kane's kind of around, but I don't think he's really put anything out. He performs still every now and then.
Oh, okay.
But I can't think of a new record by him. Yeah, Public Enemy's still putting stuff out, so I guess that'd be, but that's a group.
But yeah, that's a group.
So yeah, Rakim did just put out an album this year too.
Okay. Well, was it, I
just haven't gotten around to listen to it. I was going to, and then I heard a whole bunch of reviews saying how bad it was, so it kind of dropped on my to-do list, and then I forgot about it. But I've also seen it pop up on a few people's.
Yeah, I don't want to listen to it if it's like,
I know, I'm kind of like, I want to remember Rakim for what I remember.
Yeah.
And kind of
hold him at that standard.
But, he produced it all himself, and that's been one of the biggest complaints, is that his production was kind of weak, is what I heard.
Because he'd been doing his own beats.
I guess. But although I think he did a lot of the early Eric B. and Rakim stuff too, so yeah, I'll give it a listen one of these days, and we'll see. Hopefully I'll like it. But I would say I haven't liked many of his releases since the early days.
Oh, since the early days?
Yeah, nothing is really like the 17th Letter wasn't anything special to me.
And I think it's a lot of it maybe ages, like with like how the flows go or stuff like that. So maybe they don't really keep up with the time or something like that.
Where I think Masta Ace has, it's not like he's copying, he's not doing trap rap or mumble rap or anything like that. But he's
staying with it though.
Staying relevant.
Yeah. And it's crazy because not even on that staying relevant part, just his flow is still
like he can hold it against any.
Yeah, it's still fresh and it's still there. Like what I said, I don't know if I said this in the episode before, but I said, well, Ice Cube, like I love Ice Cube, early Ice Cube, all the way up to like 2000. But I feel like once he hit the 2000 era, I think Ice Cube kind of stayed in there because like when I listen to him now on certain tracks that he has, or when he'll drop a single here and he still feels, I feel like he's still rapping like in the 2000 flow, you know what I'm saying? And he's like, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, it kind of, although I want to say, because I don't want to just be out here saying I'm shitting on Ice Cube and then like that. I love Cube, you know what I'm saying? And I did think he did very good on the documentary too with the game, yeah. So he did a good job on there, but it just,
I will say, and I meant to bring him up in our last episode where we talked about the stuff from 24. He did drop an album this year called Man Down.
Ice Cube?
Yeah. And I listened to it. I'm sorry to say, dude, it was terrible. In my opinion. I got the feeling that like if I'd gone to like an AI tool and said, hey, make me an Ice Cube album post 2000, like, so forget about America's Most Wanted and forget about Lethal Weapon. Start with the stuff he did in like later 90s, early 2000s. Yeah. This was like an AI generated album based on that. That's what it sounded like to me. I thought everything was very generic. Beat wise, lyrically, it was all
kind of same.
It's just the same. So, and what's funny, he does have a song on there talking about people on the internet talking crap about him. So apparently he wrote a song about me before I even started talking crap. So thanks, dude. So, but no, I just did not care for the album at all. And I know there's been a lot of people saying it was incredible, but
that may just be like Ice Cube stands or something like that.
Like how
I love Ice Cube.
I do. America's Most Wanted, I think, is one of the best albums ever recorded. And then Lethal Weapon was the next one, right? Or was there? Or what was Death Certificate?
I think it's Lethal Injection.
Lethal Injection. Yeah, I'm saying Lethal Weapon. Sorry, I'm confusing it with the Mel Gibson movies. Yeah, Lethal Injection, and then Death Certificate. the next one, right? Those 3 albums. Oh, and then
I think Deficit might have been before those.
So what?
I mean, I'm
America's
not
Most Wanted.
there.
Then I think Death Certificate. Lethal Injection. And then there was the Kill Will EP, which was between America's Most Wanted, and those albums are all solid.
Yeah, it was through.
Yeah. I mean, and there's no doubt that Cube was one of the best MCs of that era. But this album just felt really forced and generic, in my opinion.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying with the situation with Cube is I feel like he's always like his flow and stuff is still stuck.
He's still stuck in 2000.
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, that's why I have to give Masta Ace his credit because like, yo, he don't feel like. I mean, I think his hats go off to his versatility.
Yeah.
Oh, the way he can just hop on different stuff and collaborate with newer and classic artists.
Yeah.
And still can deliver a solid project with a substance and a good message behind it.
Definitely. Yeah.
And with that, especially with Richmond Hill, that's another thing I wanted to say. And this might be the last thing I say, is that he's not only giving you the aspect of, with the whole drug usage and stuff like that. He's not bringing the problem to light. Like, not only he's bringing the problem to the light, but he's also teaching you how to solve it.
Yeah, a lot of times about how Marco Polo dealt with it and how he got out of it.
Yes, yeah. So a lot of times we don't really we have a lot of artists who will bring situations to the light, but we don't know what to do with that situation we have.
So he's actually giving some depth to the issues and
so he brings it down another level.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, Masta Ace, man.
Yeah. So everybody, if you haven't listened to his stuff, I mean, I would say start at the beginning, because you're not going to be disappointed.
Yeah, nowhere.
But, yeah. So another solid one, like a great MC that deserves a lot more credit than he's got. So,
so what other album? Show the other albums you have, bro.
So it's the Tiny Desk one. Then there was the one with MF Doom called Son of Yvonne. And then the Ace and Edo, sorry, Arts and Entertainment. A Long Hot Summer. That was, I think, this was right around with Disposable Arts. I can't remember which one came first off the top of my head.
Yeah, because I was choosing out of one of those two. Those right next to each other, but I chose Disposable Arts instead to listen
to. Yeah, I need to listen to some of these. I've been focused more on these two, the Brooklyn Story and Richmond Hill, just because they're such good records. So. But yeah, I would definitely, and I like the way the artwork complements each other. Yeah. This one, it's a Brooklyn Story, so that's Master Ace's, where he's from.
Oh, okay.
And then Richmond Hill is the Toronto neighborhood that Marco Polo's from. So that's where so this is kind of like
the same building situation?
Just similar. Like
similar.
That one's, I don't know.
It's like a blueprint. That's what it comes like right here. My bad.
Yeah. But yeah, so it was kind of like his story and then Marco Polo's story.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. And this one features MOP, Little Fame of MOP on it, which I'd forgotten about that. And Styles P's on here. Marlon Craft, we've talked a little bit about him before.
Yeah.
Oh, and one of my favorites is Pharoah Monch.
Okay, so I might have to check that one out, the Brooklyn Story.
Yeah. So this one I don't think had too many other than Coast Contra. Oh, and that Speech from Arrested Development, I remember liking that. Yeah. So, but you're probably not too familiar with.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar.
Tennessee, you remember that song?
The what?
Tennessee.
Oh yeah, I do remember. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. So that's it. I know, like I said, I've got Disposable Arts around here somewhere, but somebody's put my records out of order. Anyway, so thanks for listening to that. Let's do our top five. Let's see. We'll pull this time. Some fun, hopefully. Oh, you put this one in again. That was from this thing in double. The top 5 MCs, which we did that.
Oh, we did that last episode.
Yeah. All right, top 5 groups with a DJ.
Groups with a DJ?
Yeah. Which is something that's sorely missed these days. I think I don't know there's too many groups that actually have
I don't know.
DJs in them. I mean, the obvious first one's going to be De La Soul. You got Maceo in there.
Okay.
So.
Oh, yeah, he is a DJ, isn't he?
Yeah. He raps on 1 or 2 tracks, but not many. But he does all the cuts on there. Public Enemy would be a good one. You got Terminator X, and then you had DJ Lord, I think, is their current DJ. Yeah.
I mean, Wu-Tang Clan or RZA? I mean, he's not really a DJ.
Yeah, I'm thinking of a DJ like straight, like cutting on the turntables. So, let's see. You just don't see it as much anymore.
Yeah.
Back in the day, because a lot of the groups like Brand Nubian had DJ Alamo. Leaders in New School had Cut Monitor Milo, I think was his name.
Okay.
Tribe had Mr. Muhammad. What was Large Professor's group? That was Main Source. Actually had two DJs. The two brothers were the DJs in the.
Oh yeah.
And Master Ace is actually a DJ too. He cut.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and produces.
Oh
so,
man,
he's
everywhere with it.
Yeah. For some other groups, obviously I Run DMC.
Oh yeah, Run. Okay.
Mr. J. Let's see.
Yeah, none of these are ringing the bells.
Yeah.
I mean, besides the ones you just said, but
House of Pain had DJ Lethal, I think. Atmosphere has Ant, who's their producer and the DJ.
Okay.
Let's see. Can't read all my records. The writing is too small.
I mean, from this day and age, for me, that's not really a group, but only DJs that I know is DJ Khaled and DJ Drama.
I'm not familiar with Drama. I know enough about Khaled to say he's terrible.
He didn't really.
I miss, we talked in our previous episode about the record from Canada, Pretty Ugly. And he's got a DJ, and I can't think of his name. But I miss, because he's cutting it up all throughout the record.
Oh, okay.
And I miss a lot of that, because you don't see that much on
scratching up and stuff like that.
A lot of it, that's one of the things, we've talked about Buck 65, I like, because he's doing all the cuts on his albums.
Yeah.
And, you just don't see that. And DJ abilities, he's, he was with Idea. And so there's actually DJ songs on those albums that they're he's rapping and cutting, and they're going back and forth with each other.
Yeah.
And there was a whole turntablist movement in the mid to late 90s and early 2000s. You had Invisible Scratch Pickles. We had I think Hubert was in there.
Okay.
Yeah. But these are DJ troops that would go around. You'd be up on the stage with 4 or 5 DJs each with their setups. These back then it was all vinyl DJs too. It's not
okay.
And so they're doing turntable routines up and down with each other and stuff. Some of the other groups had Black Delicious has what is his name? I'm drawing a blank. But he cuts for them. I feel bad. Can't think of his name.
And honestly, with me, I don't even know if not Drama, but Khaled is actual DJ. I think I've seen him on the turntable once or twice, but I haven't
Yeah, I don't think I don't think he cuts. I think he's just maybe spinning records at clubs and stuff.
Oh, that's probably what it is.
Produces albums.
Yeah.
Produces maybe. I don't even know how much he produces, but yeah, I'm thinking of DJs that actually are cutting, that are up there scratching, which like I said, you don't hear that much anymore these days, which is it's kind of sad, because that was our instrument. The turntable is the instrument for hip hop.
Yeah, all kind of went out. We all kind of went, electronic now. So
yeah, but I mean, even there's a lot of the DJs that have all gone. I think even Premier is cutting on, the digital, but he can still do it.
Oh well, yeah, that's another one. Then Gangstar.
Yeah, Gangstar. Yeah, you're right. This is an obvious one. We both
all right.
got. Yeah, there was a lot of groups at that time that were all MC, DJ, and stuff like that. P Rock and Seal Smooth.
Okay.
P Rock, yeah. So, yeah. So, I would say any of you hip hop groups out there that don't have a DJ, go find your neighborhood DJ and have them cut on your record, because it's sorely missed in hip hop these days.
We need more DJs anyway.
Yeah, real DJs.
Yeah, not just the title.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's gonna wrap it up, right?
Yeah, I think so. So.
All right. Well, you guys been rocking with the Mad Panda podcast. We'll see you next week.
Thanks again for checking us out, and don't forget to like, share, and support so we can keep growing.
All right.
Thanks.
Master Ace.
Yeah, and definitely check out Master Ace. Put him on your Spotify list or whatever, however you kids are doing it these days. And check him out.
All right, y'all.
Thanks, everybody.